Roman Griffen here from the Roman Review with this week's selection by Russell Banks, a book called The Reserve. The book is 280, my notes are upside down. The book is 287 pages long. I got through 54, and I understand that an author has to set the table. I'm perfectly clear on that, but the table wasn't set very well with it. I mean, he wasted 54 pages on pretty much nothing. I mean, I truly believe what he did in 54 pages, any other writer could have done, any competent writer could have done in about 20. I mean, not even 20, maybe 10. Also, if you took out the word and, A-N-D, from this book, it would probably go from about 287 pages to roughly 150 pages. I've never seen the word and used so much in my entire life. I'll give you two examples. These are just two examples now. From the deck of the camp, Dr. Cole and his wife and their friends watched the airplane rise off the surface of the lake and soar overhead and disappear into the night sky behind them, and etc., etc., etc. He shaved and dressed for work in loose, paint-spattered dungarees and sweatshirt and came down the wide front stairs to the living room and went into the kitchen and let the dogs and the cats in. It's like an excitable 6-year-old kid telling you a story. And he put on his dungarees and they were paint-spattered and he came downstairs and he let the dogs in. And this one time, at band camp, this isn't writing. It truly isn't. It's either laziness or I guess the editor fell asleep. I don't know, but maybe they didn't know how to punctuate properly. If you know how to punctuate, you can get past this. You could actually, what he has is these long sentences that just and, bust them up into 2 or 3 sentences then. You don't have to have a 50-word sentence. Perhaps he doesn't realize that. Another technique he uses, I call the Yoda. The Yoda goes something like this. Here are 2 examples. He doesn't use it often. In his defense, he doesn't use it often. It does disrupt the flow of reading, though. Maybe she's an actress, he thought. Broad shoulders for a slender woman, he noticed. You see how it could be a lot smoother, is that he noticed she had broad shoulders for a slender woman. Flows a lot better than broad shoulders for a slender woman, he noticed. It's that Yoda technique. Learn to write, you should. But here's a good one. I talked about sex scenes last week, but here's the Russell Banks version of hot shit. With nearly all right, let me set it up for you though, real quick. In less than 54 pages, he was explaining how this artist met his wife, and it was the artist's first show that he ever had, and it's what made him famous. I can talk. It made him famous, and the rest is history. Here it is though. With nearly every picture in the show already sold, he asked her to sleep with him. When she refused, etc., etc., etc. Is she not romantic? He asked her to sleep with him? I mean, what do you... He just like walked up to her and said, hey, I'm the artist here. This is my show. Almost every picture is already sold. Can I possibly bang the snot bubbles out of you later? No? Okay, well, great. So what it amounts to is, I don't know what's supposed to happen in this story, and I really didn't care. I mean, I got through 54 pages once again, just like the book last week. The format is smaller. It's not as big as the normal hardcovers. I think they're 6x9, and this is, I forget how big it is. Anyway, it doesn't leave you wanting for more. You don't really care about too much in this story, especially the character. You could care about the story if there was one. All the guy does is he flies into this doctor's house He meets the doctor's daughter. He looks at some paintings that the doctor has. He leaves, gives the doctor's daughter a little plane ride. While they're on the plane ride, the doctor drops dead. And I'm not ruining anything for you, trust me on this one, because I doubt you'll want to read this book. And he sees, next day he sees the girl, the doctor's daughter, Vanessa, and there's not, and he kicks the shit out of a couple geriatric waiters at a country club. But it's not, but he says in the book though, they're like one's 50, one's 60, and this guy's this strapping artist. He's like this big guy, and you're thinking, what the? I almost said the F word. But I mean, really, I don't know. I would give it a miss. However, if you have nothing better to do, maybe perhaps you have a freshly painted wall you would like to watch dry, I would do that instead, because this will make you want to kill yourself.